Whipser 29 here. I haven't made a video in a while. Sorry about that. I don't know, been busy. I'm not really too sure why I haven't, but I've been watching plenty of videos. But I haven't made any of my own, so I've decided to make one now. It's going to be a fact video, and it's all about the human brain. It's lots of facts. 100 to be precise. Talking to you about the human brain, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to crack on and get on with it. Sorry. Itchy nose, I'm all ready for bed, so I'm a little bit sleepy. Okay. This camera isn't exactly where I want it. I suppose that'll do. Right. Okay. The first 13 are about physical attributes to the brain. These facts will teach you interesting bits of information about the physical makeup of the human brain. Weight. The weight of the human brain is about 3 pounds. 2. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and makes up 85% of the brain's weight. Number 3. Skin. Your skin weighs twice as much as your brain. Wow. 4. Grey matter. The brain's grey matter is made up of neurons which gather and transmit signals. 5. White matter. The white matter is made up of dendrites and axons which create the network by which neurons send their signals. 6. Grey and white. Your brain is 60% white matter and 40% grey matter. 7. Water. The brain is made up of about 75% water. 8. Your brain consists of about 100 billion neurons. 9. There are anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 synapses for each neuron. 10. There are no pain receptors in the brain, so the brain can feel no pain. 11. While an elephant's brain is physically larger than a human brain, the human brain is 2% of total body weight, compared to 0.15% of an elephant's brain, meaning humans have the largest brain-to-body size. Number 12. There are 100,000 miles of blood vessels in the brain. 13. The human brain is the fattest organ in the body and may consist of at least 60% fat. That's quite interesting. The next section is about the developing brain. Starting from within the womb, fetal brain development begins the amazing journey that leads to a well-developed brain at birth that continues to grow for 18 more years. 14. Neurons develop at the rate of 250,000 neurons per minute during early pregnancy. 15. At birth, your brain was almost the same size as an adult brain and contained most of the brain cells for your whole life. 16. A newborn baby's brain grows about 3 times its size in the first year. 'That doesn't make sense, that contradicts the one before it. If it's almost the same size as an adult brain, but then it grows 3 times the size in the first year. So it's not almost the same size as an adult brain, unless I've completely misunderstood that. Please let me know if I'm being stupid. 17. Your brain stops growing at the age of 18. Number 18. The cerebral cortex grows thicker as you learn to use it. 19. A stimulating environment for a child can make the difference between a 25% greater ability to learn or 25% less in an environment with little stimulation. So if you've got young children, stimulate their brain because it makes them more intelligent in later life. Stephen Fry must have been stimulated to the max when he was little. sounds throughout life in response to mental activity. 21. Reading aloud and talking often to a young child promotes brain development. Number 22. The capacity for such emotions as joy, happiness, fear, and shyness are already developed at birth. The specific type of nurturing a child receives shapes how these emotions are developed. 23. The first sense to develop while in utero is the sense of touch. The lips and cheeks can experience touch at about 8 weeks and the rest of the body around 12 weeks. 24. Children who learn 2 languages before the age of 5 alters brain structure, and adults have a much denser grey matter. 25. Studies have shown that child abuse can inhibit development of the brain and can permanently affect brain development. Okay, the next section is about brain function. From the invisible workings of the brain to more visible responses such as yawns or intelligence, find out how the brain functions with these facts. 26. Your brain uses 20% of the total oxygen in your body. 27. As with oxygen, your brain uses 20% of the blood circulating in your body. 28. If your brain loses blood for 8 to 10 seconds, you will lose consciousness. 29. Information can be processed as slowly as 0.5 meters a second, or as fast as 120 meters a second, which is about 268 miles an hour. Number 30. While awake, your brain generates between 10 and 23 watts of power, or enough energy to power a light bulb. 31. It is thought that a yawn works to send more oxygen to the brain, therefore working to cool it down and wake it up. Doesn't work, just makes you feel tired. 32. The neocortex makes up about 76% of the human brain and is responsible for the language and consciousness. The human neocortex is much larger than animals. 33. The old adage of humans only using 10% of their brains is not true. Every part of the brain has a known function. 34. The brain can live for 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen, and then it begins to die. No oxygen for 5 to 10 minutes will result in permanent brain damage. 35. The next time you get a fever, keep in mind that the highest human body temperature ever recorded was 115.7 degrees, and the man survived. 36. Excessive stress has shown to alter brain cells, brain structure, and brain function. 37. Oxytocin, one of the hormones responsible for triggering feelings of love in the brain, has shown some benefits to helping control repetitive behaviours with those with autism. 38. A study of 1 million students in New York showed that students who ate lunches that did not include artificial flavours, preservatives and dyes did 14% better on IQ tests than students who ate lunches with these additives. But these days it is hard to find any food that's got no additives in it, unless it's like, well, I say vegetables, but even vegetables are covered in chemicals. So it's really difficult to eat a meal without additives in it these days. So I'd like to know what those kids in New York are eating that didn't have additives in. I want to get some. 39. In the March 2003 edition of Discover magazine, a report describes how people in a 7-year study who ate seafood at least once every week had a 30% lower occurrence of dementia. The next section is psychology of the brain, from tickling to tasting to decision making. Find out how the brain affects what you experience. Number 40. You can't tickle yourself because your brain distinguishes between unexpected external touch and your own touch. 41. A study from Australia showed that children with imaginary playmates between the age of 3 and 9 tended to be firstborn children. 42. Without any words, you may be able to determine if someone is in a good mood, is feeling sad, or is angry just by reading the face. A small area in the brain called the amygdala is responsible for your ability to read someone else's face for clues on how they are feeling. 43. For years, medical professionals believed that tinnitus was due to a function within the mechanics of the ear, but newer evidence shows that it is actually a function of the brain. 44. Scientists have discovered that men and women's brains react differently to pain, which explains why they may receive or discuss pain differently. 45. There is a class of people known as supertasters, who not only have more taste buds on their tongue, but whose brain is more sensitive to the taste of food and drink. In fact, they can detect some flavours that others cannot. 46. Some people are much more sensitive to cold and actually feel pain associated with cold. Research has shown that the reason is due to certain channels that send cold information to the brain. 47. Women tend to take longer to make a decision, but are more likely to stick with the decision compared to men, who are more likely to change their mind after making a decision. 48. Some studies indicate that while some people are naturally more active, others are naturally more inactive, which may explain why getting out and exercising is more difficult for some. 49. Boredom is brought on by a lack of change and stimulation, is largely a function of perception, and is connected to the innate curiosity found in humans. 50. The connection between body and mind is a strong one. One estimate that between 50 to 70% of visits to the doctor for physical ailments are attributed by psychological factors. Wow. That's insane. 51. Researchers have discovered that those experiencing the blues are more willing to spend more money in an attempt to alleviate their sadness. Well, that's obvious. Oh, I just had a thought. Look at the wrinkles on my forehead. Look at that. Anyway, I had a thought today, or yesterday, or recently, that with this massive, I don't know if we're still in a recession or not in the UK. I don't really watch the news or anything, but they keep wanting us to save our money. Okay, but they keep upping how many adverts we watch and trying to sell more products. So how can they expect us to save money when they're telling us to buy more things? It doesn't make sense, they being the government and everybody in charge. But anyway, never mind. The next section is on the memory of the brain. 52. Frequent jet lag can impair your memory, probably due to the stress hormones released. 53. Every time you recall a memory or have a new thought, you are creating a new connection in your brain. 54. Memory is formed by associations, so if you want help remembering things, create associations for yourself. 55. Memories triggered by scent have a stronger emotional connection, therefore appear more intense than other memory triggers. 56. Anomia is the technical word for the tip of the tongue syndrome, when you can almost remember a word, but it just won't quite come to you. I get that a lot. 57. While you sleep at night, may be the best time for your brain to consolidate all your memories from the day, which is why sleep is so important to children, because they need to store all the information that they've taken in the day to develop properly. 58. It goes to follow, lack of sleep may actually hurt your ability to create new memories. 59. A world champion memoriser, Ben Pridmore, memorised 96 historical events in 5 minutes and memorised a single shuffled deck of cards in 26.28 seconds. What? That is ridiculous. 60. Estrogen found in both men and women has been shown to promote better memory functions. 61. Insulin works to regulate blood sugar in the body, but recently scientists have discovered that its presence in the brain also helps promote memory. That's quite cool. Okay, the next section is on dreams and sleep. 62. Just because you don't remember your dreams doesn't mean you don't dream. Everybody dreams. I know that. 63. Most people dream about 1 to 2 hours a night and have an average of 4 to 7 dreams a night. 64. Studies show that brainwaves are more active while dreaming awake than when you are awake. 65. 5 minutes after a dream, half the dream is forgotten. 10 minutes after the dream, 90% is forgotten. Write down your dreams immediately if you want to remember them. 66. Dreams are more than just visual images, and blind people do dream. Whether or not they dream in picture depends on whether they were born blind or lost their vision later. 67. Some people, about 12%, dream only in black and white, while others dream in colour. 68. While you sleep, your body produces a hormone that may prevent you from acting out your dreams, leaving you virtually paralysed. 69. If you are snoring, you are not dreaming. 70. If you are awakened during a dream, you are much more likely to remember the dream than if you slept into the full night's sleep. 71. As those who invest in dream dictionaries can attest, dreams almost never represent what they actually are. The unconscious mind strives to make connections with concepts you will understand, so dreams are largely symbolic representations. 72. Caffeine works to block naturally occurring adenosine in the body, creating alertness. Scientists have recently discovered this connection and learned that doing the opposite, boosting adenosine, can actually help promote more natural sleep patterns and help eliminate insomnia. 73. Japanese researchers have successfully developed a technology that can put thoughts on a screen and may soon be able to screen people's dreams. My boyfriend tried to influence my dreams the other night. Apparently I was asleep and he woke up and he was whispering kittens chasing spiders at me, which I find is really cute because I love kittens, I love cats, they're my favourite animal, and I hate spiders, so he was going kittens chasing cats, but it didn't work. Okay, and here are a few, I say a few, quite a lot, fun and interesting facts about the brain. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. I haven't yawned for a while, and then all of a sudden I do this video and I'm yawning like crazy. Okay, 74. A study has shown a correlation between flying and headaches, and states that around 6% of people who fly get headaches brought on by the flight itself. 75. Juggling has shown to change the brain in as little as 7 days. The study indicates that learning new things helps the brain to change very quickly. 76. A study published in the journal Sleep Medicine describes how Disney creators used real sleep disorders in many of their animated pets. 77. Each time we blink, our brain kicks in and keeps things illuminated so the whole world doesn't go dark each time. We blink about 20,000 times a day. 78. Laughing at a joke is no simple task, as it requires an activity in 5 different areas of the brain. Bloody hell. I thought laughing was easy. 79. Ever noticed that you yawn after somebody around you did? Scientists believe this may be a response to an ancient social behaviour for communication that humans still have. 80. Harvard maintains a brain bank where over 7,000 human brains are stored for research purposes. Really? If anyone goes to Harvard, or know anybody that goes to Harvard, please find that out, because that's weird. Why do you need 7,000 brains? Wow. 81. The lack of gravity in outer space affects the brain in several ways. Scientists are studying how and why, but you may want to hold off on your next trip to the moon. Yeah, I was thinking of going back. I might hold back now. 82. Music lessons have shown to considerably boost brain organisation and ability in both children and adults. 83. The average number of thoughts that humans are believed to experience each day is 70,000. 84. Those who are left-handed or ambidextrous have a corpus callosum, the part of the brain that bridges the two halves. That is about 11% larger than those who are right-handed. Yes, I'm left-handed. 85. According to a study by Bristol Myers Squibb, accountants of the highest incidence on the job headaches, followed by librarians, then bus and truck drivers. Librarians? Why librarians? If you're a librarian, let me know if you get loads of headaches and try and explain to me why. I thought librarian was a pretty straightforward job. 86. Aristotle mistakenly thought that the functions of the brain actually took place in the heart. 87. Some research shows that humans carry genes that help protect the brain from prion diseases, or diseases contracted through eating human flesh, leading medical experts to believe that ancient humans may have eaten other humans. Well, we know they did. Cannibalism, I've got a whole book on cannibalism up there. 88. The word brain appears 66 times in the plays of William Shakespeare. Great. Okay, and this, I believe, is the last section. No, not quite. This section is on famous brains. 89. Albert Einstein's brain was similar in size to other humans, except in the region that is responsible for maths and spatial perception. In that region, his brain was 35% wider than average. 90. Famous for knowing all the London streets by heart, the London taxi drivers have a larger than normal hippocampus, especially the drivers who have been on the job the longest. The study suggests that as people memorise more and more information, this part of their brain continues to grow. 91. By Lenin. After his death, Lenin's brain was studied and found to have an abnormally large and numerous neurons in a particular region that may explain his strikingly acute and penetrating mental processes for which he was famous. 92. A brain thought to be 2,000 years old was unearthed just recently at the University of York in North England. 93. Babe Ruth was tested by 2 Columbia psychology students and was determined to be working at 90% efficiency compared to 60% efficiency measured for most people. 94. Daniel Tammet is an autistic savant who, since the age of 3, when he suffered an epileptic seizure, has been able to perform astounding mathematical computations, known 7 languages, and is developing the language of his own. Jesus. 95. Keith Jarrett, the jazz musician, was discovered at the age of 3 to have perfect pitch, which scientists can pinpoint in the right frontal lobe. And the last 5 facts for you today. Moments in history. 96. In 2000 BC, archaeologists found evidence that primitive brain surgery was performed by drilling a hole in the skull. 97. In 1811, Scottish surgeon Charles Bell described how each of the senses had a corresponding spot in the brain. 98. In 1899, aspirin was marketed as a pain reliever, but was not available without a prescription until 1915. 99. In 1921, Herman Rorschach invented the now famous Ickball test for use with his patients. And 100. In 1959, the first rhesus monkey was sent into space to study human behaviour. So that was 100 facts on brains for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.